Some of your deepest wounds did not come from enemies. They came from people who shared your blood, the ones who knew your fears, the ones who knew your weak spots, and still chose to press there. Family betrayal cuts deeper because you were trained to excuse it. You were taught loyalty without conditions. You were told love means endurance. You were told walking away makes you ungrateful, cold, or broken. Stoicism disagrees. Psychology agrees. Today, you are going to learn the dark Stoic response to toxic family behavior, not revenge, not hatred, but something far more unsettling to them: emotional withdrawal, moral clarity, and quiet independence. If this topic stings, this video is for you. Why family betrayal destroys you from the inside. Betrayal from family rewires your nervous system. Psychology shows that chronic family betrayal creates hypervigilance, guilt conditioning, and emotional confusion, because your brain struggles to accept that the people meant to protect you are the same people harming you. Your mind asks a dangerous question. If they hurt me, what does that say about me? Stoicism steps in right here. Marcus Aurelius wrote that people act according to their character, not yours. That truth saves you years of self-blame. You were not betrayed because you lacked worth. You were betrayed because they lacked restraint. Family betrayal feels personal because it violates an unspoken contract. Psychologically, it mirrors childhood abandonment. Stoically, it reveals misplaced expectations. The Stoic does not deny pain. The Stoic refuses to let pain rewrite reality. The lie you were taught: family above all. You were raised with a rule that sounds noble and destroys lives. Family comes first. Stoicism never taught blind loyalty. It taught virtue before attachment. Seneca warned that shared blood does not equal shared values. Psychology confirms that proximity does not guarantee safety. Toxic family systems survive because guilt replaces accountability. They weaponize history. They remind you of favors. They rewrite events. They punish boundaries. You are not obligated to remain accessible to those who repeatedly harm you. That belief is not cold. It is sane. The Stoic definition of toxic family. A toxic family member does three things consistently. They disrespect your autonomy. They deny your reality. They punish your growth. Psychology calls this emotional invalidation and enmeshment. Stoicism calls it moral corruption. Epictetus said, "You must never trade your inner peace for approval." That includes approval from family. When someone benefits from your silence, your compliance, or your guilt, distance becomes a form of self-respect. Why confrontation fails with toxic family. You may want closure. You may want an apology. You may want acknowledgement. Psychology warns that narcissistic or emotionally immature family members rarely provide these things. Confrontation gives them attention, control, and leverage. Stoicism offers a sharper response. Do not argue with people committed to misunderstanding you. Do not explain boundaries to those who profit from crossing them. Silence, consistency, and distance speak louder than speeches. The dark Stoic response: withdrawal without drama. The dark Stoic response is not rage. It is not vindictive plotting. It is deliberate, strategic withdrawal. You stop sharing your plans because knowledge is power, and your energy should not fuel someone else's control or manipulation. When a toxic family member knows your every move, they can preempt, criticize, or undermine you. By retreating quietly, you take back that power. You stop seeking validation because approval is no longer a currency worth spending on those who have consistently devalued you. Psychology calls this breaking the reinforcement loop. Every time you reacted emotionally to a betrayal, they received confirmation. Your feelings are at their disposal. Stoicism calls it reason over impulse. Silence, consistency, and independence become the sharpest response. You stop reacting emotionally. Instead of allowing anger or sadness to dictate your responses, you observe. You note what is happening without investing in it. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't be disturbed, and you won't be disturbed." You do not need them to recognize your worth. You already know it. Imagine your sibling constantly belittles your career choices. The instinct is to defend, to argue, to justify. But the dark Stoic response is simple. Share less about your work. Focus on excellence privately. Let your achievements speak on their own. The withdrawal isn't cruel. It's the assertion of your inner sovereignty. Detachment without bitterness. Detachment is often misunderstood. People think it means hate, avoidance, or emotional numbness. True detachment, Stoicism teaches, is clarity. It is recognizing who they are, accepting it, and refusing to allow it to dominate your life. Psychology calls this radical acceptance, acknowledging reality without resistance or self-punishment. You do not need to rewrite history or imagine a family that never existed. You face the truth and respond with dignity. Detachment allows you to feel without being trapped. You acknowledge the hurt caused. You process the pain, but you no longer replay it endlessly. You stop seeking their approval, their apology, or their understanding. That doesn't make you cold, it makes you grounded. Every time a toxic family member tries to provoke guilt, take a breath and remind yourself, their behavior reflects them, not me. Their opinion is not my law. Repeat it until the neural pathway changes. Your mind becomes your fortress. Guilt is their final weapon. Toxic family members often weaponize guilt. They remind you of your childhood, of favors done, of sacrifices made. They frame boundaries as betrayal. They make you feel ungrateful, heartless, or selfish. Psychology calls this emotional manipulation. They rely on your desire for connection to maintain control. Stoicism frames it differently. The moment they attempt to control your mind, you recognize it as external, not yours. You will hear phrases like, "You're turning your back on us." "We raised you, and this is how you repay us?" "You're acting like a stranger." The Stoic response is not to respond with anger, but to reaffirm internally, you do not owe proximity. You owe honesty, decency, and integrity. That's all. Everything else belongs to them. Visualize their guilt as arrows. You can see them flying, but you do not allow them to pierce your inner armor. The more you practice this, the less their attempts to manipulate your emotions will succeed. Rebuilding your identity without their voice. Toxic families colonize your inner dialogue. Their criticism becomes the voice you hear when you doubt yourself. You might hear, "You're not enough. You're selfish. You don't belong." Psychology shows that reclaiming your identity begins by distinguishing whose voice is speaking. Ask, "Is this my thought or theirs?" Stoicism teaches the same. Reason must govern emotion. Ask, "Is this true? Does this serve me? Does it strengthen my character?" If the answer is no, discard it. Replace it with thoughts rooted in reality, virtue, and self-respect. Write down recurring criticisms from family. Next to each, write a Stoic response. They say I am selfish. I practice virtue daily. I am responsible, not manipulative. They say I am ungrateful. I acknowledge my blessings privately. I owe no explanation for my growth. Every statement reclaimed strengthens your autonomy and rebuilds your identity. You do not owe them access to your life. This may feel radical, but it is liberating. You do not owe toxic family members access to your life. Stoicism teaches control over your inner world. Aurelius ruled an empire, yet never allowed external chaos to dictate his peace. Similarly, your life is your empire. Who enters it is your choice. Psychology reinforces this. People who repeatedly harm, manipulate, or undermine you create chronic stress that affects your mental, emotional, and even physical health. Setting distance is not selfish, it is self-preservation. Define your personal circle. Limit communication, set clear boundaries, and protect your energy. This is not about punishment, it is about survival. Let their confusion or anger be their burden, not yours. The final Stoic truth. Some people lose access to you not because you failed, but because they refuse to grow. Stoicism teaches acceptance of this fact. You do not chase reconciliation at the cost of your dignity. You do not seek their understanding to validate your worth. You move forward grounded, self-directed, and aligned with your principles. You will feel relief, grief, and empowerment simultaneously. These are not contradictory. They are proof you are human and evolving. The dark Stoic path is not about bitterness or revenge. It is about quiet strength, moral clarity, and reclaiming your life from those who would distort it. If this video spoke to your experience, stay here. Subscribe for more insights blending Stoicism and psychology to sharpen your mind, strengthen your boundaries, and reclaim your life. Share this with someone trapped in guilt or manipulation, disguised as family loyalty. Remember, you are not wrong for choosing peace. You are not weak for walking away. You are early, and your life belongs to you.